That Matt Lauer is speaking out for the first time. He's released his first public statement. Let me read it in its entirety. Brian just touched on it. Here is the entire statement that Matt Lauer has put out, and I want to read it for everyone. There are no words to express my sorrow and regret for the pain I have caused others by words and actions. To the people I have hurt, I am truly sorry. As I am writing this, I realize the depth of the damage and disappointment I have left behind at home and at NBC. Some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized, but there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed. I regret that my shame is now shared by the people I cherish dearly. Repairing the damage will take a lot of time and soul searching, and I'm committed to beginning that effort. It is now my full-time job. The last 2 days have forced me to take a very hard look at my own troubling flaws. It's been humbling. I am blessed to be surrounded by the people I love. I thank them for their patience and grace. Having spoken to the women, what do you think of his statement?
I think that the women, given the sentiments that they expressed to us in 2 months of reporting, I think the women feel that there was a very different private Matt Lauer versus the public Matt Lauer that we saw on television. And so I think that statement is a grappling of the two different Matt Lauers. And is he actually sorry, or is he sorry that he got caught? And I think that's a question that we're having in all of these sexual harassment cases, when enough victims come forward that the man has to issue a statement and say, I'm sorry.
I mean, Ramin, your reporting is so much different than any of the rumors or whispers we had ever heard, right? So this isn't philandering, what you report. This is predatory, deviant behavior, taking underlings into his office, shutting the door with a remote control button, basically, and forcing himself and having wildly lewd things said to them and acts. Tell me some of the things that you learned in your reporting.
We learned in our reporting that we spoke to 3 women who considered themselves victims of sexual harassment. And we learned in one of the cases, Matt Lauer gave this colleague a sex toy with a note about what he wanted to do with the sex toy. There was another story about how Matt Lauer had a colleague come into his office and took down his pants and exposed himself to the woman.
And told her, expected a sex act when he did that.
And reprimanded her when she resisted. And the question, I think, in going forward is, what did NBC know? Who was involved? Speaking to the victims, they say that the network was aware of Matt's behavior.
Meaning what? Who did the women that you've spoken to, who did they tell? Who did they go to?
High-level executives at NBC were told about his behavior.
Meaning Andy Lack.
I'm not going to name names, but high-level executives were told about his behavior, both current and prior executives.
And what was their response to the women?
And we were told that they protected Matt Lauer because he was so valuable to the Today Show.
Do you know what the incident was, what the event was that got them to fire him?
The event that led to this firing was the woman who came forward on Monday night and went to NBC's HR department with a very detailed complaint and evidence.
And do you know what that was? What happened? What she claims happened?
I don't feel comfortable talking about that specific case, but what we do know publicly and what we have revealed in our reporting is that the woman's complaint was so troubling that it led to NBC to act very quickly.